And we are live back at you for episode 67. This is yours truly, Jorge Prospector, joined by.
Hey, it's Ron here, sitting in the beautiful city of Torrance in Los Angeles County, just mere miles away from the great Dodger Stadium. We're representing Dodgers today in
in
honor
a
of being in
crucial
the homeland.
in a crucial three-game series against the Friars. But we'll get to
It's
that here very
yeah,
soon. That should be so exciting. I had no idea it was a day game.
no, it's not. It
Oh,
is
it's
an
not.
evening game. He's
Mm,
picking me up though, but we've got to get to Dodger Stadium from the South Bay.
that's
You know, at
yeah.
at 3:30 it's going to
You
be a
should be
challenge.
fine. You should be fine. The heavy load is there downtown, and it should be fine
Oh,
at that time.
not
Um,
the way the freeways have been lately, so it's
oh,
been hell
really?
up here.
It's been
Oh
it's
yeah,
been a nightmare
it's been
recently.
bad. Yeah, so
I remember those
look,
days.
yeah, looking forward to getting there and having a great time. So I haven't been back to the stadium in about 4 years, 5 years now.
Really
Yeah, I
interesting.
haven't. I we would pre-COVID come up for a couple of games a year. Would bring my nephew up. He is a Padre loving, Dodger hating fan, and he loves to go to the games. He's a 36-year-old nonverbal autistic, but he can heckle or Dodgers fans nonverbally up there. You go down. It's like,
Yeah, I know.
yeah,
I
they're
think
going
you show.
down.
Yeah, I think you shown me a few pics or videos. That's cute.
He loves going to the games, and if he had the chance, he would heckle every single Dodger fan. He did
Yeah,
when we were down here when they came down to San Diego, and I took him to that game. So always fun.
yeah. Give me a second. Yeah. No, that's awesome. That you get a chance to do that. Wow, 4 years. It's been a while. I would
Yeah,
go
since I've
often.
been yes, since I've been to Dodger Stadium. So it's one of those things. It was always a luxury. Going to Padres games is easy. Going to Dodgers games is
Yeah.
logistically a lot more, especially getting up to LA and
It's a
then going to the
logistical
game.
nightmare. It's a logistical nightmare. And it's a hole in your pocket. They
the the tickets are definitely not cheap. I don't know what our friend pays where he's got season tickets and preferred parking. So I'm going
yeah,
to be
yeah,
buying
yeah.
I'm going to be buying
And
him helmet nachos all night.
that's funny you're wearing that shirt. Come on, man.
I I picked. I grew up here as a Dodger fan, so I came to the house and I put this on for the day. What I've got sitting over the chair is my Garvey jersey, but it's my Padres Garvey
There
jersey.
you go. There you go.
So
No, what I
we'll
meant,
be
I mean,
switching
yes,
out.
the tickets when the team is good, especially post Otani, not post, during Otani, the tickets are going to go crazy. But what I meant is that the whole experience is a hole in your pocket because,
Yeah,
as you can
food,
remember,
drink.
you may remember from the divorce proceedings with what was the former owner's name? I forget. Um,
Yeah, he
the,
has the parking.
the big issue was the parking because that's a moneymaker. That's a cash flow machine.
Yep,
Um,
he kept
it's
that.
He kept it because that was a
Yep.
huge thing. That's why that's a revenue generator, like for crazy. That in and of itself
Mm.
is legacy money. It's so crazy.
Yeah.
Because in LA, for those that are not that may be watching us live or recorded, everyone drives in LA. Public transportation
Mm.
does exist and it is used. I've personally used it conveniently here and there, but 95% of people drive cars, and so everyone drives to to the game. You could Uber it. Now, Ubering it is also a nightmare because you have to walk miles around the stadium to get to your
Yeah.
pickup location, and it's confusing, and there's traffic. So a lot of people just choose to, and you cannot tailgate.
Yep.
Uh, so you choose to be there uh, early if you want to. You don't have to get that early because people are in LA are notorious for being late. So you can literally,
Second, third inning.
yeah, you can literally get there at 20 minutes before the game, and there'll be some usual traffic, but flowing traffic. That's
Yep.
not an issue. The issue is getting out. Well, the issue is paying $80 to park. And then getting out, you have to wait. If you don't want to be in a bumper-to-bumper situation, you have to wait.
Yeah, I've been to some Dodger. I guess the most recent ones I've been to were Dodger Yankees, and maybe that was a little sooner than I'd forgotten about that. And it was. We just said, let's just sit here for a while. Because getting out of the stadium,
you can't tailgate, but nothing impedes you from getting a little cooler action going on inside the car and waiting it out. It's funny, but it's a great stadium. It's a great view.
It is the third oldest stadium in the country at this point. I was pointing that out to somebody this morning that you've got Fenway's the oldest, followed by Wrigley, and then Dodger Stadium. And it's hard to believe that stadium was built right around 1960 or so. I don't remember exactly when their first year was there, 59 or 60. Before that, they played it. Yeah, they played at the Coliseum. You go there. The seating and the views are all great from the seats. There's no problem with that. Some of the infrastructure behind the scenes, is a little bit run down. You can tell it's dated, but it's not bad.
Yeah,
the worst thing about going there is having boisterous fans from opposing teams expressing their emotions a little bit too loudly, and things happen at Dodger games.
That in and of itself is not the issue. It's the alcohol that comes with it.
It has always been, and traditionally the worst ones were the Dodgers Giants games. Growing up as a Dodger kid here in the Los Angeles basin, it was Dodgers Giants. That was your thing. As a kid, they were the hated team, and they still are.
They are. San Diego's a new thing. It's because San Diego is recently good.
Yeah. Well, San Diego didn't come around when I was growing up. The Padres didn't exist.
Yeah, exactly.
They weren't even a team yet. They came on board in '69. Yeah. We had no ties to the area until about 70 or so down in San Diego, and I didn't go down there until the early 80s. So, we were Dodger fans here. But the Padres have definitely made themselves a target for the Dodgers because they've gone up there. They're winning the series again this year already.
No,
I think they're 65.
The game is going to be whole series is going to be insane. We can actually start talking about this. We wanted to talk about this later, but we can sidestep and bring it to the forefront. It is important today. We've got the start of Dodgers, Padres, and Braves and Mets with a lot on the line. Mets trying to exercise some 2022 demons. They came to Atlanta, the same scenario. The second to last series of the season, and I have personal hurt and personal connection, emotional connection to this because I was there. I was there. I traveled from the West Coast to be there in that series.
Nice.
Because I am close to the people that manage Francisco Alvarez, the catcher for the Mets, and I was invited to be with the team and hang out with him and his family and the team. And it was his call up. They called him up for that series. That's what he made his major league debut, and we got rocked. We got rocked out of there. We came in with a 3-game lead, needing only to win one game to secure the pennant, and they annihilated us. We threw at them. We threw Verlander, Scherzer, and I don't know, another really good pitcher, DeGrom, Scherzer, and someone else. Verlander was out for the season, I think, or something like that. And they rocked us. Olsen hit like 7 home runs. I'm kidding, but something like that.
Yeah, he had strong finish. And this is a team that did not have Acuna. He was sitting on the bench because
But
of his injury.
so a few things that go to.
Freddie Freeman, he was all over them.
Um, so Olson played that series because they had Freeman was already out. Olson, so 2022, the Braves had a monster. Both last year and the year before, they had crazy home run numbers. They were hitting the ball out of that park. Now, granted, because I was there, it was hot, humid as hell, as it usually is in Atlanta during late summer. So the ball flies out of that stadium during the summer. But they were clean homers. We got rocked, and the whole stadium. Now I'll say this, and we'll get to some of the differences between 22 and 24. Not to say that I'm still exercising demons, but because the Braves have had our number in years past when it comes to the end of the season, all that stuff. But I'll say this: two, one, the Braves were playing really solid baseball that year. At the end, they were heating up. They were playing well when it counts. The Mets were a little bit of a slide, a bit of a landslide, losing their lead in the first place for the pennant. They weren't playing good ball in September. The Braves were. So that's one thing. Two, this is a different man. This is a different Mets team. It has a different feel. It's new management, new ownership. They finally management is able to do really good things like roster.
Uh-oh, you froze or I froze. Let me try recycling here. Okay, I'm not sure if you're still in there. If it's just me, I'm going to go ahead and exit and then come back in.
And we're back.
Hey, there we are again. Talk about going down the rabbit hole.
I wonder how this is going to go through the YouTube. It's going to be just like a second of like rainbow ants interruption, and then we go back up, or I don't know. It's going to, or if it's smart enough to just forward to where we are back. I don't think so. Lost power, post PT. What do you call it? PTSD, post traumatic whatever stress disorder triggered. Hurricane season in the Caribbean triggered.
I forget about the fact that you grew up in the middle of all those hurricanes, yeah. I grew up with earthquakes. Yeah, I had it easy. You'd shake a little and move on.
Choose your natural disaster. Your what do you call it? Natural disaster? Not really. Natural disaster. Kind of. Choose your weather phenomenon. No, so we were talking about. I was taking too long, but in summary, this team, new management, new field, new players, better roster composition, deeper bench, deeper roster, better manager. I feel, and most importantly, we are hot heading into this series. So much so that all the other teams, like nothing is still written. Arizona may be kicked out. The Padres, if you're swept, all of a sudden you're like in a fight.
So right now the Padres are sitting at 3.5 up in the wild card race. The Mets are now in second place by half game in the wild card race, and the Diamondbacks are in third after losing to the Giants last night. Yeah. So
the Mets are in second place by 1 game because the D-backs lost.
Have one more. The D-backs have played one more game.
Wait, no, not
it's
now.
A half game right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yep. Okay. They're 87 and 70. The Diamondbacks are, and the Mets are 87 and 69. So they played one less game. So they've got that game to make up the half game differential.
They played yesterday. So I'm guessing they're off on Thursday or something, probably.
Probably the Padres are up in LA for this Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Giant, because right now the Padres are actually in a position where.
Sorry, Ron. I don't know what's happening with this connection.
Yeah, you're freaking out. I was saying the Padres are actually in a position where they could take the West. The Dodgers are guaranteed a place right now, and you're freezing up again. So, Jorge Prospector, he's frozen. Well, he was going to talk about some great things today and rip a few packs. I know that's coming. But in the meantime, we'll talk about things like EQL. Having recently moved, discovered that EQL retained the phone number, didn't revert to the Topps site addresses when I ordered something on there. So something went to my old neighborhood. Hey,
I'm back. I'm back. I don't know. Hopefully this, because the power went out. The power was interrupted for a minute, and I don't know if it's the Wi-Fi still trying to figure it out. But we'll figure it out. If I go again, it's because the Wi-Fi is giving issues after the power.
I was talking about how the Padres. I let folks. I just kept talking. So I let folks know about the Padres being able to catch the Dodgers. Your Mets are right there. They can't. Obviously the Phillies have clinched that division, but the West is still wide open. The West is wide open from a National League and an American League standpoint right now. You look at the American League standings; it's still
the Royals have pooped the bed. The Royals were free. We're swimming. The coast was clear, and then they've lost they've played like 300 ball last 2 weeks.
The Twins and the Mariners are a game behind them.
The Mariners were gone, and all of a sudden
they're right back in it. And you look at the fact that the Astros haven't even clinched a wild card berth yet. So there's nobody in that division that
and they lost Jordan
clinched a playoff berth. Yeah,
for a week.
So it's going to be crazy. They're sitting at 85 wins. The Royals 82, Orioles at 86 wins. Now, the Orioles aren't going to catch the Yankees, so they're going to be a wild card team. They've clinched at least a wild card berth,
Yeah.
or they should clinch a wild card berth. But it's the craziest end of the year we've seen in a long time. This is what we love about baseball. This kind of atmosphere. This is a thing that makes me excited watching other games. I mean, I went from watching the Padres game the other day, which played an hour earlier, flipping over the station, watching the Dodgers come back and beat the Rockies in the ninth inning with back-to-back jacks. It's just been an incredible thing, which leads us right into what the heck's going on.
Yeah, and it's the connection with the hobby is this not might be a bad thing, because if so, here and hear me out. Julio is
and he's freezing up again on me. So he's going to be telling you how the hobby is so connected to this. This is bringing people to the hobby. It has people interested. You're looking at things like the Ohtani card run of over 600,000 the other day. 600 freaking thousand cards printed of a rare event, his 50-50 card. It wasn't his 50-50 card. But, you look at the fact that there was 600,000 plus of those things printed. It's absolutely an insane thing that's going on with Topps now. It's and I've been spewing this a long time. It's become a lottery. Hey, we throw a couple of autos in there, and it becomes a lottery for those autos. You hit the auto, you hit it big, but you look at the price tag of the cards. Granted, a lot of people are using their points, but the points are getting eaten up.
We may have to do this again some other time. If it happens one more time, folks, sorry about this.
Well,
we'll figure out some other time.
I went down a rabbit hole for you about
Okay.
the hobby and how people are interested, and how all of a sudden we've ended up with a 600,000 card print run on a Topps Now card, and how it's become a lottery. How Topps is actually printing money. We know a lot of that money is from people redeeming their points.
A lot, but not a materially significant amount to affect their pockets.
You're looking at the fact that they've thrown the lottery out there. People are playing for that lottery. You're paying,
I'm really pissed off about this. Yes.
Well, these were $11.99, I believe, per card. They used the higher price point on it, so it's a $12 lottery ticket.
It's an unregulated lottery where
Absolutely.
they can get away with it because you are getting something of value. You are getting something of value. You are getting
you're getting something in return. You're paying for a product and you're getting something back. In the meantime, they're having the sweepstakes on whether you're going to get one of those, whether you're going to get a foil printed or rainbow parallel or other type of base parallel. There's not that many cards.
It's legal. It's legal because of that. And that's why they're skirting sort of that line. And that's what's people need to be a little smarter, because they are right in that line of, unethical practices, because they're very shady when it comes to, like, you're taking their word that that's the print run, right?
Yeah.
Like, you don't know, right? They don't have any regulations where they're supposed to file with whatever commission and report blah, 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 blah. Like, that's their word. As you know, if you get a messed up card, you can call them and they'll send you one more, right? Or whatever happens. I mean, there are extras. So that's not really a true number. It's close to it. But no, they figured out a way. They said, you know what? Forget about numbering these cards and selling them. It's all about the chase. It's all about the easy $10, $11 grab, and let them be fools. And let me tell you, like I was telling in Discord, those are sales. Coupons are sales.
Yes.
Because those are indirect sales. They're incentivizes people to have more points to do more of this lotto tickets.
Yep.
And it's a way to flush out money that's sitting on people's bank accounts.
Yeah. So that is a something.
Your audio? I think you're mute, Ron. No? Is it me? I think you're mute. Can you hear me? Oh, there we
Yeah.
go. Okay, it went out. Your audio went off. Go ahead.
Oh, so I was saying that you have the points out there, and it's 8,000 points is actually two $40 coupons. So they're really carrying an $80 credit on your account all the time. I mean, it only can be used for a certain product, like the Tops Now product, but it's on their books. It's something they're carrying as a negative there. Every time they throw out one of these big ones, everybody uses their points. I'll just use my points for it instead of using your points for other things that you could turn around. Although I see people clearing out their excess pre-orders right now for this, like this 50/50 card. You see people selling them for $8, $10, $12.
It doesn't matter.
Each.
Listen, it shouldn't matter what you as an end user do
Nope.
with it. It matters what the corporation does. It matters. And what I mean by that is, like, I don't pity them. It's not like, oh, but half some of them are coupons. No, that's money in their that's a money in their bank.
It's revenue.
It's revenue. And not only are they clearing you out so that you can spend real money on more other products, it's future sales, because it's incentivizing you to buy stuff so that you have points to use again, and the cycle continues.
Buying through their platform, correct?
Exactly. So I mean, kudos to them. It just borders a little bit on. It's really not unethical. It's more like it's unethical to the hobby, if that's a thing, right? It's hobby malpractice a little bit, if you know what I mean.
Yep.
It incentivizes the wrong type of collecting, right? And it borders on gambling. And this being not a free market situation with the license, then it that should trigger issues. Like I've said, I've told people regulation is coming. Some way or another, something will happen. I don't know what it is, what will definitely trigger it, but I think it's coming. And Topps is all to blame.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, so a lot of EQLs, a lot of premium releases that I've lost on all of them.
Well, I've got a quick EQL story for you, since I did hit the Sapphire basketball for 2 on there. And you really don't see
it, or UK?
On the Topps EQL. So I hit there.
Oh, that's right, because the UK was not EQL. Go ahead.
That's correct. So I was able to hit on that and got a couple. But what I didn't realize is that EQL is not really hitting Topps for your shipping information. It's keeping its own separate shipping information. So it had my old shipping information in there. Didn't realize it. I got a thing from FedEx showing me my box sitting outside my house, but I sold that house 2 weeks ago. And
did you call the new owners?
I called my next door neighbor, who's their buddy, and he's now got the box in his hands. So
good.
When I get back to San Diego, I'll be going over to his way to collect that box. It's like, that's $1,000 sitting right there in that box.
Yeah. Please don't.
So pay attention to things like the shipping addresses, even in EQL. You think you had it changed in Topps? That's not the last place.
Yeah, it's a third party. It's a third party manages everything. That's interesting. So I signed up EQL for that.
Sapphire baseball.
Before that, I had a chance, just like our other, premium members of our Discord group, to acquire some without EQL straight from the UK website. And I didn't pull the trigger because I felt that I wasn't so 2 things. One, there was that controversy about the 1 or 2 auto. Most people, because there have been some pictures out there, one showing 1 auto, one showing 2 autos. People assumed safely, like they did, that it was 1 auto, but you never know. That kind of, I hit pause because of that. And 2, the mark, I'm not sure that there was going to be a full on market I wasn't sure if the meat on that bone would be big enough for me to weather the price and upfront. It turns out that it has some upside pull. There's a nice floor. Obviously, I'm not sure if you're ripping or selling or I'm guessing you will want to flip one maybe.
I will.
Yeah,
I'll be getting rid of them. So.
And that's the smart play, because ultimately the carts look kind of cool, but ultimately they're mostly pajama uniforms, and some of them, the vast majority of them, are trash. Once the licensing comes in, you're really shopping and for hunting, I guess, for Wemby autos.
Yeah.
And you may hit it. Now, the flip side of that is there are a gazillion autos. Wemby has like a lot of autos in that product. So at some point, there's going to be you would think, a flood of Wemby autos. And I don't know what that does to the box, to the resale price of that box. I don't know. I had a Wemby auto and I sold it because I knew this flood was coming.
Yeah.
So that was that. So Ron's going to get that and flip that. I think that is a smart play.
I hope so.
Then there was Sapphire Baseball, which was EQL as well, right?
Yeah, it EQL'd as well. First, you had a Monty release, and then we had the EQL.
Which I did not.
I did not either.
I wanted to, but it was just honestly, I did not know that the regular release was going to be EQL. If I had known that, I may have tried for my one box. But hindsight is 2020. Did we know that it was going to be EQL?
No, we didn't. But they've been hinting towards that on popular products, is what they've been saying. So
so is that the case? Is that the case for Monty now, that you get your secure one before EQL? Is that what they're trying to do going forward?
Yeah. It looks like it.
It looks like they're hitting the right buttons. I mean, if that's the case, then that's your value right there.
Absolutely. It's going to be interesting. You've got a lot of product. The problem is within this last it's really, I was going to say 30 days, but it's really been the last 2 weeks. You've been looking at a huge push of products out.
A premium product too.
Fairly high-end products. So you've had the couple of Sapphires going back to back. You had, I don't know whether you consider the composite football a premium product, but here's a new product they're putting out there that people wanted to get their hands on.
I sold it for quite a premium, so it is premium to me.
And just prior to that, we had the Chrome basketball.
I sold Chrome basketball for double the price. I made 110% on it. Yep,
I doubled my money on mine as well. So even after eBay fees for me, I
made 125. I made 125% on basketball Chrome profit, and I made 105% profit.
So those are some
on the composite.
Yeah. So those were some products where we were.
And don't forget about Cosmic Chrome.
Cosmic Chrome. I grabbed a couple.
Yeah.
I grabbed two.
I grabbed one to sell.
And then we go into the logo factor. You want to hit logo factor real quick? The craziest things with logo factor.
It's still a pain point for me. Look, my phone lives next to me. And to this day, I was supposed to get a call.
The MLB New York flagship store was the key behind the logo factor. You would call in, they'd put you, theoretically, you got put on a list after leaving a voicemail with them, and they'd call you back. Well, we went a solid week. We heard of nobody in our group getting calls back, although you'd heard a couple people getting direct calls back the first day.
So here, let me break this down.
Yep.
And then you can take it over, because I know you were being successful. You have a whole separate story.
Yeah. It's part of the whole thing for us, though.
So yeah, and it's frustrating because I feel like we've talked about this quite a bit we're in episode 67, and I think a good 5 episodes of our 67 episodes have talked about logo factor in some form, whether it be 22, 23, or this year's. It's the most insane logistics setup that you could ever imagine. Now, granted, it's technically not tops, but it takes the worst part of tops and it brings it to retail format up front, retail premium retail store format. It's and I'm guessing that MLB retains a larger percentage of the revenues because it's their own retail format. I don't know what the setup is. I'm assuming that those sellers, that those workers are on commission. I have no idea. But yes, this is a product that is only available in the MLB, presumably MLB store in New York, and presumably maybe at some point, depending on volume, online at the
Well,
MLB.
they had it there, and then they added the Fanatics drop. Fanatics
But that was a boo boo. That was a boo boo because I'm sure
they
that
came
MLB
through.
Premium has priority on volume, and that thing sells out. So I don't know if they do more of a scaled approach where like some are reserved for the online store. But again, you have to like Ron was saying, you have to call. I'm sure our listeners know this. You have to call and leave a voicemail. Imagine voicemail. Like they might as well tell you, like, just fax your order in. Leave a voicemail. And the phone message when you call, it's literally, if you are calling about Logo Factor, yes, leave a note with your phone number, blah, 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 blah. We will try to reach you. Anyways, but what happens? It's NYC, so it's East Coast. So the moment that they launch that on Twitter, blah, 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 like it gets obviously hijacked by East Coast callers, and some people probably are calling while they're taking their Uber to the store to see if they're there. Who knows? Maybe there were some at the store.
There are definitely some at the store. There's folks have told me that they picked up. I've seen it.
That in and of itself is already messed up because you shouldn't be discriminating based on where you in the country you are. I would think that's not cool, but you know, it is what it is. They call their shots. But yeah, so it's natural that the first huge chunk of calls is going to be from East Coast, Midwest, whatever callers, and that us poor folks on the West Coast will get calls like what, 3 days later?
Yep.
It's been over a week, right? I think so. And
it was over a week when I got a voicemail back. I wasn't answering the phone. I was at the hospital here up in Torrance and checked my voicemail, and here's a guy calling me back from Tops New York City going, "Hey, this is our first attempt to call you back. We're going to try you again, but we want to let you know that we're calling you back about purchasing the Logo Factor product."
And it's not like they stop and wait for Ron. Like they go through they keep going through their list. Yep. Eventually you would hope that you would get to Jorge, but no,
not yet.
It's coming up on Tuesday, and listen, it's not like I called 2 days after it was released. Dude, I called 3 hours after they released it because it's a time difference. It's
me too.
The time zone. So, and I probably called 20 minutes after you, or 10 within 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah, I posted the number in Discord right after I called it.
Yeah.
So
I called around that time. I should have received a call. That's what's got me kind of like concerned. I have called back a couple more times and left a voicemail just in case, another voicemail, even though they say do not do that. I think the last time I called was like 3 days ago because I'm like, I'm done, whatever. Like, I'm sure someone's going to get a box. Like if I wanted to, and here's the thing, the box carries a premium, but it doesn't carry that much premium because one, they have jacked up the price. And the fact that it's really base cards, except 2-packs, really, people are not going to pay $140, $150 for 2 packs. I mean, some people may.
I've seen a few people paying that price. So.
But eventually that will, like in everything, like right now you can get a 2022 Logo Factor box that was selling for $300 back when that happened. Now you can get it for 170, 160. So eventually that box will come down in price. And people will just try to get a little money back. Now, I think there's enough product out there that if I wanted to get some boxes for my product, that I have access to it. So I'm willing to wait. Ron got lucky because he called. He called, and sorry, he was on the website when they magically appeared for 5 minutes.
Well, it was a drop. It said, "Hey, we're doing a drop. How many you want to buy?"
I know, but weren't they supposed to be like, no, we're not doing this. Delete. Or did you actually? So you dropped and it was successful.
Yep.
Because that's not AQL, but it's also kind of like you may not get it, right?
That's Fanatic. No, I got into the drop, and then they sent me a note letting me know I was successfully won the drop.
How did that drop happen? That was like, in the moment, like it happened for a few people, but then it glitched.
It was gone really quickly. So we got some boxes.
Filling orders, or is that just because of a glitch?
I really don't know, but I know that we'll have some boxes for PCB. Otherwise, I wouldn't have told the New York City guy that I wanted those extra boxes from him as well. So,
I got one of my good friend doctors has a practice there, trying to see if he can go, but then like he's got crazy schedules. My firm partner, he lives right there, across the river. And I've even told him. But the thing is, I don't want to tell him, hey, go to the store, because I don't even know if they're at the store. Maybe they are, maybe they don't.
They tend to stock them, and then people are limited to, I think, the 8 that they had on the site.
But I don't even know. Do they still have them? Who knows?
Who knows?
So when I have a call with my partner today, I'm going to see if I can, after we talk work, be like, hey, can you stop by them at least?
Well, we've got some boxes for you. You got some boxes coming your way. So
and hopefully I get a call and I can get 8 more.
And I'm gonna charge you a premium. I'm thinking about $200 a box. It should
fair. No, it's
it's crazy, and it was marked up a lot more this year.
Too much, man. These people are hogs.
Yeah,
I don't get it. Like it used to be a $50 product, and I get it if you want to charge 85, 100, even 90. I understand, but 110.
Yeah, it was a little much, but we went ahead and bit, didn't we?
No, I mean, because it does retain. Like we went ahead and did it because it does retain the floor. Like it'll be worth whatever. It's just like everything. They're crushing the margins out of everyone, out of us, the end users. And obviously out of distributors. That was the whole MO. It's just getting distributors out.
Just crazy stuff.
So, but that's coming, hopefully. And it's a good product. It should be a good product. It's just so incredibly difficult to obtain.
Hey, the other thing that came out, if people are really looking to weather whistle some cards, is I understand there's a new release of the Prospect Chase box coming out.
Yeah, people want to know. Yeah,
people want to know that lineup. So why don't you grab your lineup?
It is kind of an exclusive a sneak peek to my PCB Reserve members. But I mean, no one watches this. I might as well say it here.
It's quite a mix.
No, it's listen, I might as well call it Prospector Picks because it has about 3 of my favorite releases all time that I'm letting go. So the release, it's heavy on top and heavy on the volume on the bottom. It's got so first of all, it releases next week. So if you want to get a shot at it, and I'm scaling down. So I'm really this time I'm only doing 10 boxes. So it's going to fly off the shelves. 10 boxes only. I am putting a 22 update jumbo pack in there. I am putting either a logo fractor from the OG original box 2022. A Mojo pack, not a base pack, a Mojo pack in there, or a 2022 Topps Chrome Update Sapphire with the Bobbies and Julios and Quans and Jeremy Peñas and Torg and all those, but particularly Quan, Bobby, and Julio. Those cars are in there, and they are in there. That's one of their only, not only, in addition to Gilded, that is one of maybe one of two premium products that has their on-card autos. Gilded, I think, is the other. But Sapphire had their
Yeah.
on-card Julios, on-card Bobbies. I think one of them is one or both of them are redemptions, but those redemptions are now
Good for 10 years.
good for 10 years. So that's a premium product. That's a crazy premium product. So I'm putting that in there. You get either a Sapphire or a 22 OG logo fractor pack. You got the 22 update jumbo pack that I mentioned. You get 2 packs of 23 Bowman Hobby, with some pretty good prospects in there as well. Obviously, autos and relics. And you've got, I also wanted to mix in some surprise Bowman action. You are going to get either a 23 Bowman Mega Box Mojo Pack, a 22 Mega Mojo Pack, a 21 Mega Mojo Pack, or a 2019 Bowman Retail Pack, which has, Julio, Wander Franco, who else? A few other people in there. And then after that, it's going to be a bunch of flagship hobby products, 21 flagship. What else? 22 Chrome, 20 Chrome. It has, I forget, a few other ones. But, obviously the star of the show is that logo fracture, that Sapphire, that 22 Hobby Jumbo, and the surprise Mojo, Mega Mojo Bowman packs from years past. And I've got a Chase. So I think 2 hot boxes will have additional Mojo packs. And Chase hit, which is Tatis Junior Rookie Heritage PSA 10 slab, up for grabs. So 1 in 10 chances, because this time I'm doing 10 boxes.
Yeah.
So you got a 10% chance if you buy a box. So thank you for the plug.
You're welcome. It's coming up, and it's stuff people need to know about. As we're looking at how we're going to be spending our hobby budget, because there's been too much product thrown at us. You've got, they're coming back at us with what's the next one? 5-star.
I don't even know, because I don't mess around with those mid-tier. I don't mess around with threats, triple threats. I don't mess around with 5 stars.
It's one of those coming up at us, and it's like,
I don't mess around with any of that.
It's a 5-star, and it's not a product that I generally buy either.
Those are usually, if I may recall, I think that's the product that I could be wrong, but that used to be sticker autos, and I think now they do sticker and a Chase on-card auto, something like that. Or maybe I'm confusing it with another product. But like, if you're gonna get it, listen. If you're gonna get if RPAs are ever going to be a thing in baseball, different. I mean, if we're going to move toward, now that Topps will have the license, do other products, and with that, other people from other sports, basketball, football, will start migrating, and they're going to start saying like, "Hey, why aren't RPAs a thing in baseball?" Eventually, if that's a thing, they're not going to gravitate towards triple threats. Yeah. They're going to go to Dynasty. They're going to go to like the premium stuff, right? So in my opinion, anything that's RPA and it's not a premium product has limited value. I mean, it's great for PC, but I wouldn't recommend it to invest. I hate that word. I wouldn't recommend it to flip.
Yeah. It's a product like the 5 stars coming out. It's $250 a box, two autos. Well, you're going to have an awful long auto list if there's 2 autos per box. They are on card on that particular product, but still, it's going to be variable. And that's a tough product. You might hit something nice, but overall, and it's not one people go after. It's not one that is in people's mind. I really need to buy a 5-star Julio.
No, that's the type of product that the play, if you're going to get that, the play, because you're chasing, I don't know, an Ellie or whatever you want, Jackson Merrill, if it has one, I don't know.
Yep.
It's the type of product that you get, you rip, and if you get what you wanted, amazing. If not, you go on eBay immediately. Like literally the moment you top load the card. and sell it
Yeah,
because
and
it has value that day and the next day.
one of their big features this year is the rookie cap patch autos, where they're taking stuff from their hats and making
Again, competing with
putting
MLB
card.
debut and
They're
competing with
trying.
other stuff.
They're trying, but a bunch of different ways. So it'll be interesting to see. But it's one that's coming down the pipe here in a couple of days. Limited number of cards, and you're gonna get some guy you've never heard of, a relief pitcher. You'll have to look up what team is he with this year. So we all get that picture.
We need to figure out what's going on. And so to cap it all off, we still got a few premium. So Topps Update Hobby released today, and I think it's on pre-order. I think, and it wouldn't surprise me if it sold out.
It sold out almost immediately. Guys went and took a look, and it was gone. So
that's going to be available
it's
later.
A pre-order. It'll be there.
Yeah, you pay maybe $20 more, whatever.
But what you did by creating a short pre-order window was you created a demand because the product sold out. So people are now have a fear of missing out. So they're going to be looking for the product to come out again. So
that product, but that
scarcity.
I saw someone made the. I don't know if I needed a link, I would post it, but I don't know. I don't have the exact link. I'll look for it and maybe post it on YouTube comments. Someone ran the numbers on Print Run. And yes, the checklist does have skeins, so that will be that would be a chased product, and other folks. But skeenless is it's funny because people were commenting that people didn't know if they were going to hold him for Series 1 of next year. He must have been a late edition. They may have just said, you know what, put him here, and they just print more or print like Series 2. But I say that because he's not on the box. Like, you would think that if he's the main product, he'd be on the box. And they have the 2 Japanese pictures on the box.
Yeah.
So that tells me that they were debating whether to include him or not. And a decision wasn't made until the end.
Let me say this. As we've seen shift in the market to going outside of just the United States and being more of an international market, that was a great play for them.
Perhaps.
That's where they're trying to get a little bit deeper market saturation.
Perhaps.
Perhaps. Could be.
Think that he'll be on the box, though. But you're right. I mean, it is what it is. But anyways, I mentioned it because I think the guy did ran the numbers, and it was printed. I think, again, I forgot. I really don't remember the conclusion of the episode, but I think it was printed a little bit more than people. I think it was printed more than last year. It was printed more in line with Series 2 numbers, which is a little bit of an uptick from usually. It's updated. It's 30% less than Series 2 or 20% less than Series 2, something like that. And so I think what the guy was saying is that it was printed almost as much as Series 2. So and it makes sense because it's skeins. They want to make this available. You will get, if you want this product, you will get a chance to buy it.
Yeah.
Everywhere. So I'm not concerned about that. But in addition to that, we've also got more Sapphire coming because we've got Draft soon. Well, we got Draft and Draft Sapphire.
Yep. Both coming in the pipeline.
How did Bowman Chrome Sapphire do? Did it do well?
I remember it doing pretty decent.
I don't even remember.
It's an odd product. The year that I bought it,
has it been released? I don't think it's been released. Has it?
No. The year I bought it a couple of years ago, it was a hot chase product. There was a few cards in there, some prospects who were very hot. And guys were going off the rails with I hit so and so and this and that. You saw some huge things.
They only started doing it last year or the year before, right?
I think it was 2 years ago.
Have they stopped doing it?
I think it's coming. Okay. I'm positive they will. I probably have a box of it sitting at home. So when I get back,
you mean of this year? I don't remember. Honestly, I don't remember. That's how much inundated we've been. I don't even remember if Bowman Chrome Sapphire has been released. But let's leave it at that. Good luck to you in your series. Good luck to my Mets. Hopefully, we get the Braves to sit down in October for a year.
And
Um,
and I
it's
have
good for
to.
the Royals and Mariners to get in, because what I was getting at before my Wi-Fi got in the way is that imagine if we get Bobby and Julio in the postseason at the
That would be
last
a
minute,
great thing.
right? For the
That would be
hobby.
a great thing. You know, the both of them are having just Julio is snapped back and is having a great finish to his
Imagine
season.
if he weasels himself into the playoffs and does well.
They're close. They're one game back right now. I mean, it's anybody's ball game. The funny thing is the Tigers are up in there. How the hell did the Tigers end up in the wild card race? They're the number 2 position right now.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Anyways,
So
Ron, you better do some reporting out of Chavez Ravine.
absolutely will, and a big shout out to not only this group but our Tops After Dark group for allowing me to make the connections with all you guys and winding up at games with you guys. You know,
That's awesome.
you and I have been there, and now Eric, you've been to quite a few with guys from the group, and there's no better feeling than connecting with these guys who are like-minded, these folks who are like-minded. So thank you very much.
Thank you. And again, people, volume 28 of the Prospect Chase Box, hit me up on the DMs if you want to talk offline transaction with no taxes, and we'll get you a box. Only 10. Thank you, Ron. Have fun today.
Thank you. All right.
Let's go,
have
Mets.
a good day up there. Bye.
Bye.